Down week, down month, big red numbers. And yes, people are yelling reverse split. I'm showing my real P&L and the math behind why I'm still holding ULTY. Only if.
Here we go.
Welcome back, dividend stackers. If you're new here, this channel documents my journey building weekly income using YieldMax's ULTY ETF with margin, drip, and real-life decisions along the way. Oh, and a quick reminder, none of this is financial advice. This is just what I am doing with my money inside of ULTY. And real quick, if you're getting value or just simply entertained from this journey, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss these weekly updates. Now, let's jump into the numbers. So here we are again showing what ULTY is sitting at currently at $5.17. Definitely not something that I was looking forward to seeing at the end of the week. I did take a week off, had some time to reset and just get my mind straight, not only for ULTY, but also work in general. Definitely my peak season is coming up here shortly, and I want to make sure I'm ready to go mentally there. Obviously, ULTY does not pay the bills yet, and I have to work for a living. So hopefully this does change that at some point. But I do plan to continue to update, hopefully on Thursdays and Sundays, and I may go day to day. Who knows what this adventure will bring. But if you'd like me to update daily, let me know in the comments below. I really just do this to share my journey, and if it brings value to you, or you're simply plain entertained, I like that as well. So here we are, the snapshot of my portfolio. As you can see, it is in the red again, but honestly, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I definitely did not take a look at the account. I was a little iffy about the margin account, but as long as I didn't get any messages, I think I was fine. I did go ahead and do the drip into it, and I'll show that here shortly. But as it stands right now, my market value sits at $10,981.14. My total cash invested, which includes dividends, it's $12,125.88. And my out of pocket is $11,111.46. If you haven't been following along, that includes my whole paycheck for a whole month. And I will continue to do so as long as it makes sense to me. The game changer here obviously is still the dividends that's sitting at $1,014.42. My unrealized PML is $1,144.74, which makes it a negative 9.44%. Definitely not something to be happy about. My true gain though, only negative $130.31, which is a negative 1.17%. And really, this is what makes me comfortable. As you can see here, the last dividend of 0.0908 cents per share grows me $189.68 in dividends. So therefore, if I'm only short $130, then that means one dividend will cover that really next week. And I truly think that that's what the power is here, because I continue to accumulate more shares, now sitting at 2,124 shares. And as those dividends keep increasing, if the price does stabilize, which we have seen in the past, it would be money just coming in all on dividends. That is a very big if, but I am keeping a close eye on my break-even price. And I think one of the main things that is helping is obviously my whole paycheck is going in there. Now, I have seen other investors that put their money in ULTY and they're actually up. And that also is hurting me a little bit because my overall value or cash invested continues to rise by a big amount here every single week or every other week because of my paychecks going in there. So it'd be interesting to see how much I would actually be up had I not increased that amount. However, this is where I stand. And I am comfortable here at a negative 1.17%. And for the month here, already at $574 in dividends. And given that there's 2 more weeks of dividend pays for the month of October, this actually will go up. So just for a quick calculation here, it'll be about $190 if the dividend stays at about 9 cents. Times 2, that's $380. And if I add the 500 that I'm already at, that's $880 in dividends this month alone. And if you just stack that up month after month, you can see what's going to happen there. However, this dividend is going to continue to go up. So I'm going to get up to about $1,000 here shortly a month, which actually is going to be pretty incredible to see. At that point, I may reevaluate to see if I need to pay down the margin a little bit, or I just continue to roll that way. But just keep an eye and tracking it obviously makes a big difference here. So moving on to taxes, you can see there after tax dividends, I'm sitting at $946.38. I'm estimating a total of $68.04 in taxes due for the year. My margin currently sitting at $5,779.95, and I'm using a total of $5,201.19. So we take a look here, you can see Robinhood is still showing me at a low risk. Still weary about that, but I am sitting at a 42.49% buffer. I am still closely watching the maintenance ratio there at 30%, because that may increase. Robinhood definitely won't increase it. I've seen it happen, and that definitely will change the buffer, which of course, as I'm adding my paycheck in there, does make a difference in it. But do have a plan just in case I am put in a position where the margin actually drops or the buffer gets really low. Again, I'm not advising you to do this. This is just what I am doing with my money and showing you my journey here along the way. Definitely want to make sure you take a look at all the risks associated with this, with any type of investment. And also, I want to make a big point that I may be wrong here. The distribution can change, and I am totally prepared for that. This is not guaranteed income. This is not can't lose money. This is not easy money. And this is definitely not set and forget it. I am not a professional, and I am not giving you advice. And the last thing I want to bring you over to is just to show you exactly what buys I make. These were the last transactions. I do have to go in and add some of the spending I did make on the spending account. But overall, what happened was I ended up getting $189.68 in dividends, and I did drip those back into ULTY. I did buy 35 shares at $187.60. So I do have a little bit of leftover there. And that just accounts for last week, that really where I ended up receiving $185.16, but I actually bought $187. So that should balance it out there. I'm not really picky about that right now, but that kind of almost is the amount. And with that, it just brings back to the account. There's a couple things that are in play here. A reverse split, which changes the share count and price. Although I'm not really concerned about that, because to me, it's just a cosmetic change. It actually would probably benefit us, and that way they can keep the distribution per share the same. It'd be kind of hard to do if the price continues to go down under $5. What really matters is the NAV and the option income. And what I truly care about is obviously the dollars paid. The risk definitely does not disappear because the distributions can be cut. The NAV definitely can fall, as we've seen, and the margin rules can tie in. I plan around all that, not the optics. So definitely something interesting to see here as it all plays out, and I will show it all to you guys as I continue to update this account here on this channel. I will continue to monitor the maintenance buffer and accept that broker rules can change. I definitely don't want a forced sale, but really that is my responsibility to make sure I manage. And why I still hold, I'm optimizing cash flow over price appreciation right now. The math definitely checks out for me. My break-even price right now is sitting at $5.23, and the weekly income helps offset those drawdowns if the distribution holds. Like I stated earlier, I accept the risks. Margin cuts both ways. My current excess liquidity is sitting at over $2,400. Definitely, like I said, I will continue to watch that maintenance. One of the kill switch that I will implement here to monitor as we go through it is the sustained distribution of over 8 cents at least, or volatility that backdrop shifts that crush the option income for several weeks. But overall, really excited how the shares continue to rise. If and when I do stop contributing and just take the cash out as a distribution, those shares are really going to be what matters as far as dividend payouts. All of these are my choices and definitely not advice. So what I like to hear from you guys in the comments, drop what your distribution floor would be, or if you have already sold out of ULTY, would you reconsider or wish you never done it at all? And if my spreadsheet helps, you can buy me an energy drink. I'll have the link in the description below. And again, this is a reminder, none of this is financial advice. This is just what I am doing with my money inside of ULTY. See you in the next video. ULTY YOLO out.